I will be recapping a movie about a young boy who forms an unexpected relationship with his father's secretary. The movie starts with a boy named Simon. He lives with his girlfriend, Fabian. Both of them are cartoon artists. They moved in together to get away from their families, who don't support their careers. Most of their family members are doctors and don't understand their passion for art. One day, on Simon's father's 60th birthday, Simon decides to bring Fabian along to introduce her to his family. They head out together, and it's the first time in 6 months that Simon is going back home. At the party, he meets many family members, and as expected, they're all doctors. While there, Simon spots a mysterious woman who catches his attention. He doesn't recognize her and doesn't know who she is. Later, he finds out that she is actually his father's new secretary. Simon's father, Karl, is a psychiatrist. Everyone in the family is used to him changing girlfriends often. He has a strange habit. He usually starts relationships with his patients, turns them into secretaries, and then dates them. Simon's mother, on the other hand, is deeply unhappy. She's stuck in a marriage and doesn't agree with Karl's actions. But since she works for him, she feels powerless and stays silent. After the party, Simon's mom tells him that the woman he saw, named Sonia, is Karl's new secretary. She also shares that Karl is planning a trip with Sonia, and if that happens, it'll probably end their marriage for good. Desperate, she asks Simon to take her place at the clinic so she can go on the trip with Karl. If she doesn't go, Sonia will. Simon feels sorry for his mom and agrees. So Karl is forced to take his wife on the trip, and Simon stays behind at the clinic with Sonia. Once they're alone, Sonia sits with Simon. She's upset and tells him that if he hadn't stepped in for his mom, she would have gone on the trip. She thinks it would have helped her relationship with Karl, but Simon isn't too interested. He casually says that Karl always has different girlfriends, and it's nothing new. Sonia takes a pause, then tells Simon that their relationship isn't like that. She says he doesn't know anything about them and should stop judging. Simon starts to believe that her connection with his father must be deeper than he thought. Feeling awkward, he decides to leave. The next day, Simon overhears Sonia on the phone. She sounds upset, saying she has a family and children, but feels like she has nothing. She begs the person not to waste her time. Simon realizes that even though Karl is away with his wife, he's still in contact with Sonia. It was Karl she was talking to. Sonia and Simon are assigned a job, transcribing Karl's recorded lectures and interviews into written documents. It's a tiring task, and they both feel drained. One day, Sonia opens up to Simon. She tells him that Karl says he loves her, and he even tells others about it. Still, he's off enjoying a holiday with his wife. Sonia breaks down and starts crying. She says she feels lost, has no real family, and just wants to start one. She wanted to go on that trip with Karl and eventually marry him. Simon, thinking his father is being unfair, tries to comfort her. He hands her tissues. In her emotional moment, Sonia kisses him. But Simon pulls away, realizing how complicated things have become. He steps outside, thinking about everything. He knows he can't get closer to Sonia. His mother trusted him to keep her away from Karl. Now he's tangled in a mess he didn't expect. Fabian calls and reminds him that they have a cartoon show coming up in 2 weeks. But they've done nothing to prepare because Simon has been too wrapped up in family drama. The next day, Simon apologizes to Sonia for what happened. She brushes it off like it's not a big deal. When Simon asks her not to tell his dad, she admits that she already told him she was seeing someone else, but didn't say it was Simon. She says she only told Karl to ruin his trip. Simon finds Sonia strange and becomes curious about her, especially now that he has to spend time with her. After she leaves, Simon starts digging in her past. He knows Sonia was once his father's patient, so he decides to look for her file. Eventually, he finds it and learns that Sonia had suicidal thoughts and had been treated by Karl. Simon keeps the file to himself, but the next day, Sonia realizes it's missing. Since her medical records are confidential between her and Karl, she begins searching for them and finally discovers that Simon has taken them. She grabs the files and rushes into her room, trying to hide her past, but Simon already knows what's inside. He follows her and finds Sonia crying alone. As he steps forward to take the file from her, Sonia suddenly turns and kisses him. This time, Simon doesn't hold back. He kisses her passionately. Sonia then stops and warns him that someone could walk in, so they need to go somewhere more private. She leads him to the basement. Just as Sonia opens the door, a few clinic workers approach and give her instructions. Simon hides behind the door until they leave. Once they're gone, Sonia brings Simon down to the basement. Simon is confused. He knows he shouldn't be doing this. He's supposed to keep Sonia away from his father, but now he feels like he's falling for her. Inside the basement, Sonia seduces him. Simon can't resist anymore, and they end up having sex. Afterward, Sonia tells Simon to get into her car so she can drop him at home. Simon gets in, and Sonia drives him near his house. Before he gets out, Sonia asks him to visit her sometime. Simon kisses her and promises that he will. On his way home, Simon sees Fabian sitting at a restaurant with one of her friends. When he walks up to her, she reminds him that their cartoon festival is only a few days away, and she needs help. Simon doesn't like seeing Fabian with someone else. Before he leaves, Fabian kisses him and tells him to try and free up some time. Simon walks off, but now he's suspicious. He starts thinking that Fabian might have started something new with her friend. He decides to follow them. Later, he finds Fabian completely focused on preparing for the cartoon festival. He approaches her and asks why she's changed so quickly. Fabian explains that Simon's been too busy with his family, and she needs help. She's been planning this event for a long time and couldn't wait around. Simon feels torn. He doesn't want to lose Fabian, but he also can't let down his mother. Suddenly, his mom calls and asks him to keep working for a few more days, saying she's enjoying her time with Karl. Afterward, Simon takes Fabian out to a nightclub. They have fun, but he can't stop worrying. Eventually, he tells Fabian that he slept with Sonia. Fabian is furious. She walks out and leaves him. A while later, Simon gets a text from Sonia. She reminds him that it's Saturday and invites him to her apartment. He goes to see her. They chat a little, then start kissing again, and soon, they end up making love. Afterward, Sonia prepares dinner. They talk and laugh while eating. The next morning, Simon wakes up and sees Sonia has gone to the market. As he looks around, he finds a picture of Sonia with his father. He realizes the apartment must belong to Karl. Suddenly, Karl arrives, back from his vacation, and is shocked to see Simon there. When Karl questions him, Simon fires back, asking what he's doing there. Karl explains that he owns the apartment and just came to get a book. Karl also tells Simon that Sonia wants a baby, but he can't give her one. He had a vasectomy. Just then, Sonia returns. She ignores Karl and kisses Simon instead. When Karl tries to speak, Sonia brushes him off and turns to Simon, asking if he slept well. Simon smirks slightly, and Karl, now annoyed, tells Simon he doesn't care about their relationship but might tell his mother. Simon meets with his mom, and she is shocked to hear about him and Sonia. She blames herself for everything, but admits there's no use crying over what's already done. She reluctantly accepts their relationship. A few days later, Sonia gives birth to Simon's child. Since Karl is sterile, it's clear that the baby is Simon's. Sonia now has an apartment from Karl and a baby from Simon. Still, she asks Simon to love her. She moves in with Simon and his family. One day, she hands the baby over to Simon. He looks at the child, happy for a moment, but also lost in thought. He remembers how calm and simple his life was just a year ago with Fabian. Now, he's deeply tangled in the complicated world of his family. Did you enjoy the recap? Please like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated next time we drop. Thanks for watching.